face. Oh boy, this is the longest and most intense LP session
Ever.
ever.
Confirmed, for sure.
Ever. Coming up on 6 hours here. And you know, we were warned.
Yep. We knew what we were getting into. It was worth it.
Verifying ID.
Past time until the presidential inauguration.
Well, what we need to do. The two things that I care about
All weapons will remain locked.
are
Departure. All clear.
the
Any missing interviews?
the missing interview. Well, specifically the ones we just the 5 to 9
Yeah.
and 4.5
4.5
man.
man.
That's about it. That's about it. So, let's just get that handled. And then we'll be out of your hair.
Yeah. More mail still. Okay.
Every time you go in or do a thing, you get new mail that pops up, yeah.
Do you still care about the extinctions?
Oh. The 5 extinctions. Ordovician, Vrician, Silurian, Devonian, Permian, Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous, Tertiary. ODPTC. Maybe not. Fine. Fine. Good enough. This is what I always wanted. Thank you. Wait, no good. Oh, okay, there we go. That's fine. I was like, okay. I wanted more colors. I've been waiting for colors the entire game, assholes. Thank you.
A real hero.
Cheers. Terrorist green.
That looks good.
I agree.
And all these guns that you have
Yeah, the full wall is
on display.
The wall is finally stocked up. All right, let's get that cover on and let's get it rolling. I don't think that'll take that much longer to do.
Yeah.
This is just the little poster. Oh god damn it! Shit. Sorry. No.
Good time.
I'm autopiloting while I'm doing this, and I'm trying to talk at the same time. No, we need to teleport back over to Heartman's area. Also, we have to go to the abandoned BT town southwest of the junk dealer.
Okay.
Because that's where the memory chips are.
True. More journals.
How you doing, buddy?
I am like...
Talk to me.
I'm decompressing from all these emotions, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's been a while since I've had, like, such a ride with a game, you know?
Mm-hmm. You've never done a Kojima.
Only MGS1, I guess.
Oh, you beat it.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was great. And everybody's like, yeah, MGS is great. I'm like, yeah, I want to get there one day, you know? Soon. TM. Oh, hi.
Been a while, Sam.
Okay, we're good. Yeah. So, hey.
Look at that. With the rainbow and everything.
Wet hair with the rain. See the significance of having wet hair? Yeah.
Hi, Louise. How you doing?
Looks premature. Looks really, really tiny. Yeah. There you go. Lovely.
So 4.5 man, the missing journals, that memory chip. I wonder if there are anything else that would be interesting.
I mean, that's apparently certain Heartman missions will result in us finding out more about Sam's wife.
Nice.
God, I don't know if that's gonna take another hour though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're pushing
right
we're
now.
really pushing it, pushing the limits of my ability to do this. Okay, now we exit from here. Yeah, might be okay to just read it
Yeah.
if we can find it. Because I don't know what missions are going to result in those. So,
And you don't want to have an extra session?
I mean, do you really think it's worth it for, you know what I mean? Like I can, if we were off camera, I would just like get them and then save it for the session to read it.
Yeah.
You know, but unfortunately, we have to do it right now. Private locker. I don't think we're gonna need anything besides BT guns, power skeleton, all my blood bags.
I'm just waiting for Deadman to be like, hey, we got blueprints for a plane.
Yeah, fuck off. Fuck off proper. Right off the edge of my dick with that one. Not here for it.
Okay.
So, we got 2 BT handguns, we got a sticky gun, we got enough blood bags, non-lethal assaults. Yeah, we're good to go. Let's pull a bike out.
Yeah.
Fuck you. No bikes. Shit. Alright, let's build one.
Yes, with the right colors.
Oh boy. Okay. This is definitely like one of the most interesting takes on the post-apocalypse that I can say I've read. Or that I can say I've seen.
Very unique.
Very,
that's for sure.
yeah. What's your favorite post-apocalyptic story or take on the post-apocalypse that you've read or watched or played?
Damn. What are the good ones that I can think of?
Conversation fodder, buddy.
Freaking Mad Max was pretty interesting. Like, I can't wait for us to really be fighting over water, personally. Mm-hmm. Like, that time needs to come as soon as possible. No, I'm serious. Like, we're talking about missiles and plagues, yeah, but what about the fight for water? And we're good here in Quebec. Because we got, like...
The Hudson Bay?
We have one of the largest sources of... is that soft water? Is that how you call it? Not hard water, but... Like
Sure, soft water. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Or everybody calm down, okay? You gotta be united.
Now, it's funny and cute that you think that people's first instinct would be to calm down and not to
Oh, it's gonna be
aggro
chaos.
and not to aggro up.
Yeah.
Because in a situation where you're keeping people from water, even if it is not your land, people aggro up, Reggie. They don't calm down.
I can't wait.
So that is cute.
Can't
That's
wait
how
for
you
a time like remember showers.
Okay, so Mad Max as in Fury Road.
Well, I liked the first and the second one, the originals. Fury Road was freaking amazing as well. But I also liked what they did in the original ones too. And how they had like that whole diversion with the fake truck. And even Mel was like, what
I haven't watched the old Mad Max movies.
Oh, okay. They're very, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Because the first one was like low budget.
Yeah.
And it's super grungy. It's like it's
made
metal
made
as fuck.
made on like no budget, right?
Yeah, it's metal as fuck. And then the second one, they bring it up a notch. And the third one, there's Tina Turner. You can forget about that one.
Yeah. No, that's on the that's
Thunderdome. Yeah.
That's something I've been meaning to get around to
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, so
So we can have a night together where we watch Mad Max in the Shape of Water.
yeah, I mean, there's other stuff. There's other stuff that I want to get around to as well.
Yeah.
This is the city area below the junk dealer. So let me just confirm that in fact I'm in the right area of the map because
Yeah.
is it? If I can find out exactly where on the map. You know what? Let's here. Let's cut the footage here and take a quick second to find out exactly where I'm going before we end up walking around lost. Because I see the description that says abandoned BT town southwest of the junk dealer. Go to the go there to collect the parts for him during the story. Right. The memory chip is on the back of a car on an old street. So yeah, it is that area. It's just I don't know how deep in that specific thing is. So it'd be cool if we could narrow it down. In the meantime, I'll just kill the BTs in the way.
So you can go east of the cosplayer and southwest of the junk dealer, right?
Mm-hmm. That's this area right
All
here.
right.
So we just have to search somewhere in this area. Okay.
If it helps, there's also a picture here.
Oh, have you got a map? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so where on the map is that exact
It's,
dot?
it's hard to see, like, with the background. Do you want to take it?
So there's a road right there. Zoom in again.
Ah, yes. Okay, so you have the road here.
Right. And then it's here.
And it's near the road. Yeah. And there should be a truck around this area.
Okay. Got it. Oh, hold on. Ignore the existing ones. Right here. Perfect. Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted.
All right.
So we can just move in a straight line for the most part. Baby.
Okay.
Dead ahead. Right there. Okay. Could I cut through or? Yeah, I think I can cut through there.
It's a nice touch that they send you, like, in the past 2 weeks before or something. It's a good thing that they send you, like, right before the inauguration.
Oh yeah.
So do your old
Yeah,
stuff, you know?
yeah. Exactly.
It's logical.
The timeline has to make sense.
Yeah. So it should be in a truck around, they said, right?
Well, once we get past this building.
Okay.
Awkward angle. Yeah, let's just go around it entirely. Alright, hook a right over here. How close are you? Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, you're safe. You're safe.
Now here, on the other hand... There we go. Yeah, you're over there. I'll move past you. Oh, there's a group.
Oh boy. Not expecting that.
Yeah, it's behind the building over there, and now we got these guys. Get off of me. Get off of me. Thank you.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Get out of there. Oh.
I didn't prepare for a boss fight. Drink. I didn't suit up for a boss fight.
Oh, you thought it was going to be real easy? You thought the world was saved?
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to do it faster than sneaking through, but I guess nothing wastes time like trying to save time.
Indeed. So apparently it should be like at the crossroads or something.
Alright, so he's over there. I can just shoot you from here.
Right in the middle and on top of the destroyed highways, look for the memory chip behind a truck. So I guess maybe between these two sections of roads there. You see how it's broken on top of you on the right side?
1 second, dude. 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so now we're approaching the broken road. Okay, so now what were you saying?
In the middle and on top of the destroyed highways, look for the memory chip behind the truck.
Right there.
Bang.
Perfect.
Easy peasy.
All right, fastest way out. Probably the way we came. Yeah.
Good, good.
Oh, yeah. I should have left a sign.
Oh yeah?
I forgot.
You could have.
Too late now.
Shows how much you care.
Yeah.
How would you save the world?
Yeah, you totally had the suggestion right in the back of your mind, right? I brought up what I should have done, and you just were like, "Oh yeah, totally."
Yeah.
I was right there the whole
That's
time.
right. I seen you not do that, and so I can stand on the higher ground.
Yep.
And point and judge.
Allow me to give you a boost.
Someone's got coffee.
Lots of crystals around, man.
If I want to go crystal hunting, I'll just kill a boss. All right, we Gucci. My footsteps from there. All right, so. Beautiful.
Anything on the floor for deliveries? I guess not.
I don't care. Unless it's for 4.5 man. If you see something that says Heartman on it, you tell me, but otherwise, it can fuck off. Alright. And with that... Oh, you know what?
Yes.
So, yeah, if we can just read or find out the requirements for the Sam's wife stuff, that'd be fantastic.
We have to do some orders. Apparently.
Do you know which?
I have the order numbers and from who to who, but I'm not sure for the like trigger requirements. For example, the first report is order 586 from Hartman to the roboticist. So I wonder if we have to go and pick up orders from Hartman directly, or
From Heartman to the roboticist?
yes. And
Okay.
there are a few like that.
And how many are there that give
Apparently
files on her?
12.
12 files on her?
Apparently
Oh my god. Okay. No, we're gonna...
13. My bad.
Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna read those. We're just gonna read those. That's there's no way to do that in this session right here.
All right.
While we are in the New Game Plus moment.
I'd just about given up on this. I owe you one.
Okay, so we got a link to those things. Is that what I'm seeing here?
Yeah, Solidus sent us a link right here.
Where?
On the chat, but I will send it to you directly.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution.
Okay. Yeah. It's unfortunate that this kind of stuff happens, but I definitely don't want to like come off of the ending with a deflated. There's a little delivery here over there. No, who's got a file? Like, yeah, it sucks to not just be able to like get everything you need to and end on a bang. You know.
True.
But it is what it is. Wind farm. I've only seen Amelie's hologram. Dear Sam, mind if I ask you a personal question? Heard you're a Strand. The president raised you like you were her own, right? Which means you must have grown up with Amelie. What was she like? I've only seen her hologram. I mean, I get it. Security precautions. I can't risk letting separatists and terrorists know where she is. But man, what I wouldn't give to really meet her and see her in the flesh. She seems like she's such an amazing person, and that she's just from the and that's just from the holo messages. If you ever do catch up to her, tell me all about it. Yeah. Okay. Sure, buddy.
Splendid. Oh. You got a few there.
Yeah. So, well, that's 5 to 9. Right.
Bingo. Want to take that?
Ha and Ka, body and soul. The two became separated. When the two become separated, you die, in this world at least. That death isn't the end, though. So long as your soul's got a body to come back to, you can be reborn, resuscitated anyway. That's why people built coffins and sarcophagi, to preserve the body so that the soul had a home to return to. I learned this and more from an old book I found, The Wisdom of the Egyptians, chock full of interesting tidbits about death and how to overcome it, like the golden death masks of the pharaohs. and the ones decorating using magical adornments as an indication of the wearer's prestige and power. I tell you what, if we've learned anything from the beach, it's that the Egyptians had it all figured out, and that's why I've decided to give myself a break. Oh, wait, decided to give myself a mask. Not a death mask, though, but one for living, for ruling. Today's the last day anyone sees my face. I don't need it anymore. Damn. Okay. Well.
Wow.
That explains that. That explains that. Interesting.
A life mask.
Yeah. All right, so here's one of those moments where, you know what? Hey, YouTube, sorry about this, but appreciate the Twitch raid. Thank you very much for those live on Twitch. Thank you for the raid, Pat. But I want, this breaks the YouTube-ness. So that's the end of acknowledgement. Back to game.
A Bridges Way station out west just got taken out by terrorists. Used a void out to do it. They dumped a course nearby and let it go necro, dropping BTs right in people's laps. Word is the men's heard that Bridges was sending an expeditionary force out west to facilitate the reconstruction of America, or some such. Guess they didn't take kindly to that. Terrorists, separatists, isolationists, all these folks claim America is coming for their freedom. That the old guard wants to put them in chains, make the individual subservient to the collective. They ask, what's it all for in a post-Stranding world when today's triumph is tomorrow's crater? Daddy used to spout the same tired lines, said America never did nothing for nobody. That's why we took to living in a shelter. Better down in the hole than out there under their thumb. Yeah, he was a real saint, my daddy. Tried to run a few times, but he just dragged me back inside, kicking and screaming, where he'd put those heavy hands of his to work and remind me what happened if I disrespected his authority. But that's love, isn't it? His way of looking after an orphan child he raised as his own. He was only trying to protect me from the evils of the outside world. I owe him my life, and my powers too. First time I ever sensed a BT when I held him, moments before he went necro. Just like when I dumped that prepper's body. My daddy showed me that corpses are precious, powerful things. They're so much more than bombs. Terrorists ought to treat them with proper respect.
An obsession with corpses in general also goes a long way. Huh. Okay. Yeah, man. So Higgs is the product of fucking post-apocalyptic paranoia in somebody reflecting itself into massive child abuse. Right?
Yeah.
That's the meat. Them's the meats.
We gotta read
Arby's.
Yeah.
Journal 7, writing year unknown. I had us team up with a bunch of porters who serviced the central part of the country. Had to be done. The writing was on the wall for my crew otherwise. And guess what? Their leaders got dooms. I've got a feeling we're going to be good friends. Demons and terrorists have been getting more aggressive ever since the Bridges expedition team set out. And if BTs and mules weren't enough, now we've got to keep our eyes peeled for those assholes when we're making runs. All the more reason we've got to come together, get organized. Me and my new partner, we've been talking about consolidating our operations so that we can cover the whole continent. If we do, I suppose that'd make us like the UCA in some aspects. Different structure and methods, but similar ideology. A deep and abiding belief in the importance of community. But the devil's in the details, isn't it? Rules, structures can't just let people make decisions for themselves, and therein lies the risk. Can't have us repeating the sins of the past with another USA. And demons, well, they ain't about to think for themselves. At the end of the day, the community needs a strong leader, and the God's honest truth is that I'm the only one cut out for it. It's interesting. So, I mean, he joins an existing group of people that are already rejecting society, right?
The rumors I'd heard about my new partner's powers don't do her justice. I knew she had dooms, but she's on a whole other level. I tell you, I've never seen anything like it. Not only can she perceive BTs, but she can actually use the beach. Compared to hers, my powers are nothing. Parlor tricks courtesy of a few corpses. But it doesn't matter, not so long as I've got her. Before we met, I was bound by the limitations of my abilities. I was a blind man, groping for shadows of a secret realm. But now, because of her, I can actually go to the beach. The beach! With her by my side, I can reshape this world. Not into what it was with the old USA. Not like what Bridges wants. Something new. Something everlasting. Right here and now. A world where we are free to do whatever we goddamn please.
Okay. So, he met Fragile, and he's getting the idea of like the ability of like what you can do with this, but it's not at the point of wishing for all extinction, right? It's just a point at which he's like, oh, I met somebody that has abilities, I have abilities, this is cool, and yo, we could do something with this,
Yeah.
right? My partner's powers are extraordinary, sure, but deep down I know the two of us are alone and don't have what it takes to bring true, lasting freedom to the people. Everything we've done, everything that we continue to do, no matter how much it may seem to bring people together, it's still a far cry from the way it should be. Timefall, BTs, chiral clouds, all this and more serves to cut us from the rest of the of creation. And I have to say, I don't think it's ever going to change. Even people like me and my partner, we have our limits. But now I've met someone who has none. Someone who could save the world from this madness, make it whole again, put our shattered pieces back together.
That's
Journal
when-
10, Samantha America Strand. That's the fucking...
Yeah.
Okay. Done. Not a knife licker after all. He's a knife licker, but he's better than a knife licker. He has a journey. He has a character. He's not... But it's like the dimension lies in the backstory. The dimension behind Higgs requires you to go back and read, right? It's not displayed in his game in game.
Yeah.
And there's always an argument, right? And I will say that people are not wrong for feeling this way. There is an argument for folks that say that show don't tell is a big idea that people have, because when you show and you don't tell, you get to experience the character in like the best shape they're in, which is like seeing it in live in the moment in the cutscene, and not necessarily in an art book afterwards or in a side novel or in text, you know. And I'd say that in this case, Higgs would 100% benefit from that, right? Because who would not want to see all that really awesome backstory we just read? Wouldn't it be amazing to see Troy Baker going through that, becoming that character, delivering in all those moments, giving us the meat and potatoes of Higgs?
It would have been amazing.
It would have been amazing, right? But you just, it's not what that's backstory. It's not this, right? This is the current testament. So, it still sucks that you have to tell instead of showing. And I think one of the ultimate cases of that we always hear about is there's Xenogears, this game that's a really good RPG that ran out of money, and the last half of the game has someone sitting on a chair literally rolling a wall of text at you for the better part of an hour of just describing what happened.
Oh, that is sad.
It sucks, right? But that's the type of shit that you know, it makes you like, that's where you go like, oh my god, like this is why, right? This is why you have to like show as much as of the most compelling parts of a character's story as you can. Not that one. Not that one. Where is it? There we go. That one. So that's exactly it. And I was saying the other day, I had that whole thing about like, the knife flicker character villains versus the more compelling ones, and thank God I was wrong there, because I'm like, okay, but you never know what we're gonna find out in those missing journals, right? We had the incomplete story. Now with the complete story, that's a full arc. You know, that's a full arc, and
the picture has been painted.
And yes,
you see it all. Yeah,
it is better than I was worried it was going to be, based on Kojima possibly like leaving it high and dry, you know. Even down to the little Egyptian shit, even down to the mask, all of it's all there, and it's like, okay, there's a method to it. Yeah, I did hear people say, like that said like, in the end Higgs was okay, you know, and I remember them being like, don't get your hopes up, And I do feel that it's like, yeah, he is. If you just give him Troy Baker's lines in this video game, then you're gonna not get. You're not getting all of it.
You're not getting the full.
You're not getting the full picture. So I can't blame you if that's what you're going on. You know, if you do want to count the other, if you do want to count the rest of it, then you get a full picture, and it's pretty good. So that's the story of Higgs. Okay, so I'm gonna go check out the missions here and see if I can do any quick out and back. Like go retrieve
what Hartman has.
See what Hartman has exactly.
Yeah.
And then the files on Lucy. Was it? Is that? Do we have? Do we? Is that a?
I have a transcript for all of them.
Beautiful. How is it? Is it dense? Pull that up. Take a look at it. Shouldn't be hard to do a little retrieval mission. Do we have any? Oh, here we go. Beach-related art from the ruined city. Perfect.
Wow.
8 kilograms, not too bad. Let's accept that order. All right, so the ruined city probably means heavy BT territory. Therefore, guns blazing. 2 of these. Give me my Higgs. Higgs non-lethal. Wait, where are they? What am I looking for? Is the word Higgs up front on them, or is it
It
afterwards?
says HG in parentheses. Like you see on the top right, it says handgun HG custom.
Yes, there we go. Yes, sorry. Okay, assault rifle, non-lethal assault rifle. HG, note level 1. Ugh. Is it over here? Yes. Great. Probably gonna need at least a second floating carrier. We never know. Sticky package gun might come in handy as well. Oh, we already got one. Okay. Bunch of blood bags.
That's going to be useful, as usual.
And I think that's about it. Right? Yes. Yes. Should be fine.
Not done yet. All right. And if you want, I can show you the other order numbers for Hartman stuff.
Okay, 1 second.
Sure.
I'm not going to be doing Hartman's orders. As in, I'm going to do this one, get him to 5, and then we can read, and we'll be good.
Okay. Hopefully it gets us to 5.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's too much. Otherwise, it's just way too much. Otherwise.
Okay. Because 4 reports are orders from Hartman to someone else.
Okay.
Hopefully we won't need to do all 4 of them to get the 5-star.
Oh, I'm at 4.5.
Yeah.
After I do this mission, it'll be done.
Will be done?
Yeah. No. Like, don't get it confused.
Okay.
This mission is to get him to 5.
Cool.
So, in fact, while we're on it, do you want to crack open those reports?
I could.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Go for it.
Now, these are Lucy's reports. And the first one is the report concerning the void out in the satellite town of UCA 010C.
AKA Sam's wife.
And it goes like this. UCA 01032 has been wiped off the map by a void out, leaving nothing but an enormous crater. Terrorism was suspected at first, but the investigation, spearheaded by Bridges, quickly ruled out the possibility and eventually concluded that the cause was the corpse of a civilian which has been left to necrotize unnoticed in an urban residential area. The deceased was Lucy Strand. Tragically, She was also 7 months pregnant. The child had already been named Lou. Cause of death was ruled a drug overdose, possibly intentional, though that remains unconfirmed at this time. Surveillance data was sent to Bridges HQ for analysis, but the results were inconclusive. Lucy's husband, Sam Strand, had been away for some time and became concerned when he was unable to contact his wife. Though he attempted to return home, the void out was triggered immediately after his arrival. Being a repatriate, Sam was the sole survivor of the blast, as the deceased was the wife of a prominent member of Bridges, who himself is the son of President Strand. Public support for the organization suffered. Many criticized the crisis management team's handling of the situation, as well as the priorities of the organization and President Strand herself. Some believed that Sam Strand was involved with his wife's death, and that he should be held accountable. While both the administration and Bridges adamantly defended him for a time, public pressure continued to mount. In a gesture his co-workers suspect was his way of taking responsibility, Sam Strand resigned from Bridges. His current whereabouts are unknown. End of this interview. Report number 1. I've just concluded my first therapy with Sam Strand. It was not held at the patient's request. Sam's adoptive mother, President Strand, approached me in the hope that I might help her son overcome his aphenphosmophobia, or fear of touch, I assume.
His don't touch me.
His don't touch me. Sam is an intriguing case, his reluctance notwithstanding. He recognizes that his condition has and will continue to cause him much distress. I suspect it is rooted in a childhood trauma, but unfortunately we have only just scratched the surface, and I cannot even begin to speculate what it might be. Like many of the Bridges core team members, Sam is a doomed sufferer. Unlike them, however, he is also a repatriate. Whether or not this is related to his
His don't touch me.
Aphenphosmophobia.
Okay, you can try.
Yeah, I got it. Aphenphosmophobia. There's that phosm part in the middle that is tricky. Whether or not this is related to his aphenphosmophobia, I cannot say at this time, but he would hardly be the first to manifest phobias as a result of his abilities. As an infant, Sam lost both parents and was adopted by President Strand. Owing to her stress and her time-consuming responsibilities, I can only presume that she was unable to afford him sufficient attention, which is to say that a distant relationship with his adoptive mother may be a contributing factor. As previously mentioned, though, Sam is very reluctant to talk about himself. He is a very intensely private individual, and it will take some time to build trust and convince him to open himself up to me.
You'd think she'd be the most doting mother of all time, considering how ridiculously circumstantial the entire situation is, and considering how lucky she got.
Yeah.
Then again, concept, not exactly a person. You know what I mean? How good of a mother can you be when you're not, like,
Touching your child?
well, more like she was occupied. She had stuff on her mind, you know. The end of all things.
Okay, Gendo. Progress has been slow from report number 2, but Sam has finally started to open up to me. However, his recollection of early childhood is confused and contradictory. He has difficulty distinguishing between genuine memories and reoccurring dreams. Sam even claims to have met his stepsister Amélie on the beach several times while quite young. An impossible claim, to say the least. I'm only a little older than Sam, but I was born before the Death Stranding, a fact that tends to affect the way we think about the beach.
Who's writing this?
This is Lucy's report,
Okay.
I believe.
No, but this is... okay, sorry. Go ahead.
But this is weird, right? Anyway, Sam even claims to have met his stepsister, yeah, from that. An impossible claim, to say the least. I've only been a little bit older. In my professional opinion, the beach is a figment of our collective imagination, a shared delusion. But people born later are more likely to take its existence as a given. I wonder if they find comfort in the belief because it helps to explain phenomena like BTs and repatriates like Sam. Similarly, my theory is that Sam's manufactured childhood memories of the beach are his ways of coping with the fact that neither Amelie nor Bridget spent much time with him. I believe this is also the reason he clings to the dream catcher Amelie gave him even now as an adult. You could call it his security blanket. It may also be the key to overcoming his aphenphosmphobia. If Sam were emotionally distanced himself from Amelie, it might reduce his resistance to physical intimacy. I will propose this approach to him in our next session.
I get it's like, so all things considered, he was still kind of alone, right? After that miraculous, like, near-death experience, you know? He still is, like, left to fend for himself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Report number 3. It came as no surprise.
Oh, it's all in that circle. Whoops. Okay.
It came as no surprise, but Sam was unreceptive to my suggestion and rejected my assessment of his relationship with Amelie. He asserted that he is not dependent on her or Bridget, and even went so far as to question my credentials as a psycholotherapist.
Psycholotherapist?
That's what it says on the text here.
Okay.
His pronounced resistance to the idea only serves as further evidence of his dependency. Nevertheless, there is little I can do if Sam is unwilling to explore the possibility, other than to continue to share my observation and hope that he eventually changes his mind. For the time being, I've decided to focus instead on Sam's feelings towards Bridges and his place within the organization. Given that it was founded to support and protect his adoptive mother, and that the other core members of Dooms have Dooms like he does, I think there is something to be gained from the discussion. His growing responsibilities within Bridges due to their expanding mandate and his abilities as a repatriate surely put him under greater pressure, and I wonder if his enthusiasm for their mission was sincere. Based on our time spent together thus far, I believe he may have embraced his role because it helped him to cope with the feelings of isolation, that he pledged himself to an impossible endeavor because it was preferable to living and dying alone.
Okay. So yeah, this is all his therapist, basically. Okay.
Report number 4. I decided a different approach was required, and so I requested a meeting with the president. Discretion was vital, as any information which might suggest she is receiving mental health treatment could be exploited by her opponents. The meeting was listed as an interview in official records, though I was more than willing to offer my services had they been requested. I opened by asking about Sam's childhood, to which the president responded with an immediate and heartfelt apology. Her frankness shocked me, I must confess. She expressed deep regret for her failure to engage with him, physically and emotionally, as she felt a mother should. At times it felt as though she was apologizing to her son by proxy. Her candor was impressive as it was appreciated. The president told me that her daughter Amelie had mostly taken care of Sam in her absence. She glossed over the details, but she divulged that Amelie has also Dooms and claimed that she would often take Sam with her to play on the beach. Interestingly, President Strand suggested that their time spent together there may be related to his current condition. What? President Strand suggested that their time spent together may be related to his current condition.
Okay.
Okay, the reports are not like clean because it's like typed by someone else.
Okay.
Report number 5. President Strand loves her son. My meeting with her confirmed this beyond any doubt. The question, I believe, is whether or not Sam perceived his mother's love. Both Sam and the president talk about the beach as though it were a real physical place, but I remain convinced that it does not exist, that it is a shared delusion, and that Sam and Amelie's so-called visits are mental constructs. Sam would not necessarily be of this, especially if it had been planted in his mind. Such an explanation would fit with his claims that he has never been able to visit the beach of his own volition. What if, subconsciously, Sam has developed an attachment to or longing for the beach, one that parallels his feelings towards his sister and mother? Furthermore, what if they have all become, in essence, objects of veneration? Upon further consideration, it is not so hard to imagine. President Strand is an exceptional woman who exhibits pan-romantic qualities, as does her daughter Amélie.
Beaches in this description here are like, she's treating it as if it's like, okay, fuck that, you're crazy.
Yes, because she said that she doesn't believe in it, right?
Right, whereas the world we're in, everybody knows beaches are real.
Yes.
So I guess like there are the explanation of them going public with it, besides Bridges members, happened recently, like super recently.
Yeah. Yes, this is surely one of the reasons why they have been able to commit themselves so completely to the cause of American Reconstruction, their one true love. Sam, on the other hand, I have diagnosed as demisexual. His sexual desires are strictly limited to those with whom he has formed an emotional connection, excepting family members like Amélie, of course. It is only natural to more highly regard those with whom he developed intimate emotional connection. For children, this can lead to veneration, yet there is also an inherent contradiction in this, for divinity is distant by nature, even as we yearn to grow closer to it. I have come to the conclusion that this contradiction is at the root of Sam offense phobia.
Wow. So the asexuality conversation part 2, essentially. You know, like, it's interesting when you kind of get the macro level zoom out on this entire situation, because if we were to sum this all up in a nice big bow, the concept of extinction itself, the embodiment of it,
Yes?
in an entity that is Amelia slash
Delivery complete.
Bridget,
Displaying performance evaluation.
comes down and becomes the president of the United States of America, and at no point does anyone else on the planet have a say in in whether or not humanity should be extinct. Only someone, only in America, and that's the only place where the global situation will be decided. The fate of humanity is decided by the White House in the post-apocalypse.
Does the White House know better? Huh? New interviews.
Yep. Oh.
Well then. I'm sorry, Woolie, but it seems like you were wrong. You have more to do.
Thank you for your continued support.
I'm so sorry.
Good work.
I should have forced you to do it. Just pick them up just in case, type of thing.
But there were none.
There are no more?
No. There was no retrieval missions besides that one. That mission, that was the only one. The rest are all you have to do from another location. If you want to get points at the place that you're standing at,
Yeah.
you have to do a go get this and come back mission.
Oh.
Otherwise, you have to go somewhere else, and they have to make a delivery to Hartman's lab. So that's the max I could have done from Hartman's lab.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay.
So what if you did other things to Hartman?
But I have to go to those places.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going in the bunker right now, so that I can teleport to those places.
But do you know where you're going now?
I was gonna try random spots like the doctor. Or,
Yes.
Like there's like so when I was building up Hartman before, there's a bunch of missions I noticed that were like you can repeat them to get them up to 5.
Okay.
From all the local science community hanging out in the mountains here. You know. And here's the other problem is my zip lines are fucked up.
Yes, that's true.
You saw that, right? My zip lines are fucked up. So I don't want to go too far because that's going to be way more difficult than were I to do it somewhere close by where I'm 1 or 2 zip lines away, right? Back when my zip lines were nice and healthy, it was no problem. But now who knows what the fuck the situation is going to be. For example, like right here.
Should I keep on reading?
Yeah.
We are at report number 6. I decided to share with Sam my working theory regarding his condition. I was prepared for some resistance, but the intensity of his anger was surprising. He glared at me as he reframed my assessment as wild speculation that he had been brainwashed by a cult. It was the first time I'd managed to coax from him such a powerful emotional response.
Wow.
While I found it a little bit frightening, I did my best to remain professional, welcoming the breakthrough, the reduction in the distance between us. That was how I presented myself. But, in retrospect, a part of me was delighted by his aggressive response. Sam stated that he is a repatriate. I challenged him and said that repatriation was nothing more than a fiction used to explain the phenomenon of near-death experiences, one that makes use of the equally fictional beach. Emboldened, I pressed him further until I finally told him to snap out of it to renounce his fantasies about the other side.
Are you fucking kidding me?
For an instant, I thought he might
Sorry.
explode in anger again.
It's like...
How
what
you
a,
feeling?
What a terrible place to spit me out. All right.
Oh no.
As soon as I got out of the fucking like thing, it just popped off.
Oh no. For an instant, I thought he might explode in anger again, but instead he grew quiet, and after a long moment, rose to his feet and left the room without saying another word. I fear I may have pushed him too hard. End of report number 6. Report number 7.
Fuck this.
Oh God, where to begin? Sam turned up for his appointment today, right on time. I remember he looked calmer than usual, though that might have been wishful thinking. He'd been thinking a lot about our last session, and how he had ended. He said he wished I was right about the beach, and what it meant to be a repatriate. That appreciate the time we'd spend together. That I'd spent listening to his stories. And then he pulled out a syringe. He was still so calm, though at that point I wasn't sure. He said it wasn't in his head at all, and that he could prove it. And then he stuck the needle in his chest. It all happened so fast, I froze in my chair as he went into convulsions, eventually falling out of his seat. I ran to him. Then, as he was laying on the floor, motionless, I removed the syringe and performed chest compressions, but it was too late.
What the fuck?
I sat there next to him for what felt like an eternity. And then he opened his eyes and sat up, still wearing that same calm expression. There was another handprint on his arm, a fresh one, left by the dead, he told me before. I'm a repatriate, he said. Every time I die, I get stuck in between and then come back. He was searching my eyes now, reaching for the words as much as they were struggling to come out. That world won't have me, and neither will this one. I'm only free to come and go when I'm with her, with Amélie. There were tears in his eyes. He looked so lonely, so I started crying too. I'd taken his hand in mine without realizing it, but he didn't pull away. I squeezed, and he squeezed back. He needs someone he can be close to,
What age?
be intimate with.
Did it say what age he was at? Was he an adult or
He
a
was
kid?
an adult.
Okay,
I
okay,
assume.
okay.
He needs someone he can be close to, be intimate with. Someone outside his family. Someone who isn't Bridget or Amélie. Someone to whom he can reveal the whole of himself. Someone who'll devote themselves to him. Me. I don't remember what I said, but I remember that he nodded, that he smiled, that we'd held each other for a long, long time. End of report number 7. Report number 8. A few days after the incident in my office, I tendered my resignation. A classic case of counter-transference, the therapist getting emotionally involved with their client.
Yeah.
And there was no way my professional pride would permit me to continue working. I felt guilty, of course. There's a permanent shortage of therapists, and many of my clients will struggle to find help elsewhere. But after what had happened with Sam, I didn't see any other option. To be honest,
That's professional as fuck.
I've come to terms with it already. What I'm doing for Sam more than makes up for it. I never normally use this word, but I really do believe his aphenphosophobia has been cured. He's shown so much progress that, absent an extremely traumatic experience, I doubt his symptoms will ever return. To my surprise, the president didn't have any problems with our relationship. If anything, she was pleased. I suppose this means I'll soon be joining the Strand family, together with this new life growing inside of me.
Ooh. He fell in love with his therapist.
Damn. What that dick do though?
Damn, yeah. Like, as I was like, you have to, when you think about it too, it's almost like, well, who else is he gonna form a connection with, right?
Yeah.
Like the person whose job it is to help, unfuck his situation, is who he's gonna like connect to.
Report number 9. Our baby is doing well.
Yeah, Tony Soprano, exactly.
We've been told we're having a girl. Sam's already picked out a name for her. Louise. Lou, he likes to call her. He talks to her a lot, touching my stomach, telling her to grow big and strong. Bridget was delighted when she found out and suggested that we take a family photograph. Amelie was out of town, so it was just the 3 of us, blushing, smiling, and that same blush, that same smile, when we received the printout along with my apologies for being old-fashioned.
Motherfucker, the photo.
Yes!
Ah!
There it is.
Ah!
There was a funny little message on it. Be stranded with love.
Out of town, she says.
Handwritten and signed. It's unique now. You can't digitize it or copy it. I'll always remember those words and that moment forever.
Damn! Look at this photograph!
Every time I look at it, it makes me laugh.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was her. And the face is erased because whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but that's the deal.
Interesting.
So the whole time, the face is erased so that you would think you were looking at Amelie at a point,
Yeah.
right? But then you see she's pregnant and you go, wait, what? Amelie's not pregnant. That doesn't make any sense. When is your sister? And then it's like, that's not your sister. And then you get the whole thing. So that full-on hoodwink of a photo.
There you go.
Okay.
Report number 10. Little Lou's 28...
A drop of time fall on the photo.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
It's true at the beginning.
Right.
When he looks at it and he's showing it to Fragile, right?
But do you even get a look at her face?
I don't think so.
Right? Like,
I don't remember. I don't think so. I don't think we saw her face. I'm just gonna say I don't remember.
okay. I don't remember if we saw her face
Yeah.
either. Yeah. But okay, that's what it was a drop of time fall.
Cool.
Okay.
Report number 10. Little Lou's 28 weeks old now. The doctors just checked us both out and said we're doing fine, but I'm not so sure. Lately I've been having the same terrible dream every night. I open my eyes and I'm alone on the beach. I'm lonely and afraid, so I start wandering around, looking for someone, anyone. I spot Sam and Amelie standing at the water's edge, their backs to me. Relieved, I call out to them. Her hair shimmers in the gray light, but when she turns, it's her mother's face, twisted with sadness and pain. She speaks and says, "I'll be waiting for you on the beach." And I scream. I scream so loud. And then I wake up. End of the report. Report number 11. Everything's gone wrong. I didn't understand at the time. I was a therapist, a good one, but even I couldn't make sense of the nightmares of what was happening to me. Bridget came to me. She visited me the other day. They're not nightmares, she said. I hadn't told her yet. I felt Lou stirring inside of me as she continued. She said she was sorry, that she hadn't known it would happen. Lou's special. She said that a lot. Lou had Sam's blood, and through her I was bound to the beach.
Sorry, it's just him yelling out as you read over the things. You know, I screamed, yeah! Woo! Yeah, all right, go on.
Lou had Sam's blood, and through her I was bound to the beach. Don't be afraid. She said that a lot too. I'd cured Sam, made him whole, given him a life to live for, to protect, made him a part of this world. She had a lot to say about that. about how the world was a jumbled mess, life and death all mixed up, but that Sam, my Sam, might be the one to make it whole again, like I'd made him whole. Without him, our fate was sealed, but with him, there was still hope for a future. And then she told me I was right. The beach exists within each of our minds, but that didn't mean it was just a figment of our imagination. It had value, purpose, and in time I would understand. She took my hand like I'd taken his on that day a lifetime ago. She smiled and she squeezed. I was there, on the beach. Everything I had seen in my nightmares I saw in that instant. Somewhere inside me, Lou was laughing, and then it all fell into place. Sam's birth, his family, the death stranding. For the first time, I saw how all the pieces fit into a terrible truth I didn't want to believe but couldn't deny. I saw my part in it too, and little Lou's. Those funny little words on the picture, be stranded with love. And I was. End of Report 11.
So that's interesting because she was given all the information almost about everything that was about to happen. What's not interesting is that fucking 4.5 man over here refuses to give me the star. Give me the star, 5 man. Give me the fucking star. What are you doing?
Maybe he's just sleeping. Not yet.
Wait, what?
Are you like at 4.9? Are you 4.9, man? Keep working, son.
4.999 repeating, of course? Are you kidding me?
Is that what's happening? Not quite. Gotta still work.
This fucking jerk. Okay, so then why... Okay, well, yeah, I was gonna go down to the geologist or something, but then that, you know what? Here, I know what to do. All right. By all means.
All right.
Let's wrap this up.
Good luck, by the way. I'm cheering for you. Report number 12. You'll have questions, and I wish I had all the answers, but I don't. I only hope this will help you to understand. Lou's kicking woke me up. Lou's kicking woke me up. I was alone, still half asleep, so everything around me looked askew. That all too familiar feeling of the waking and dreaming being tangled up. But you and Bridget and Amelie led even more muddled lives, don't you? A reality between life and death, between this world and the next. Because of all this chaos and confusion beyond imagination stranded on our shore. There are pills on the table next to me that I just took. All at once. I've tried to make sense of it, but this was never my world. I was born into an older one without a beach, where the dead stayed buried and life moved on.
Back that up.
You want me to go again?
Take it. Wheel that selector. Wheel that selector.
We're going from the
Take it from the top. Take it from the top.
Lou's kicking woke me up. I was alone, still half asleep, so everything around me looked askew. That all too familiar feeling of the waking and dreaming being tangled up. But you and Bridget and Amelie led even more muddled lives, don't you? A reality between life and death, between this world and the next. Because of all this chaos and confusion beyond imagination stranded on our shore. There are pills on the tables next to me that I just took, all at once. I've tried to make sense of it, but this was never my world. I was born into an older one without a beach, where the dead stayed buried and life moved on. Damn it. I'm shaking so hard. I don't think the drugs are working. I've got some syringes loaded with sedatives. Enough, I think. I'm going to use them, one after another, until I run out. I love you, Sam. I'll always love you. End of the report.
Oh my god.
Oh.
She just But and then the void out. Right? Oh, immediately. But what? Like, do you get the motivation? Like Amelie showed her everything. She understood and learned everything in the last part. And then just...
Was it too much for her?
And just gave up?
Was it too much?
Like, learning the truth about... she just couldn't deal. Oh my god, like... I don't... Like, that's the fucked up part is, like... opting to just end everything for, like... Okay.
It was too much?
I'm guessing she couldn't... Yeah, it sounds like she just couldn't handle it, right? But what was she told, I guess... What she was told was the nature of, like, everything that, you know, that, Amelie knew. But, like, was there something in that information that was, like, ultimately tragic and or, like, final as far as her and her baby were concerned? Like, she found out the nature of Sam, but why does that mean that there's no place for her?
While doomed sufferers are more resistant to Carilium exposure than normal humans, they are not immune, and higher levels of dooms may precipitate the erratic, suicidal, or homicidal tendencies of the Homo demens. So maybe
She
her
just...
proximity to dooms drove her to take a irrational decision.
She just lost her mind. It wasn't that she couldn't handle it and that she made a decision from her right mind. It's that she lost her mind.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Okay. Fuck.
And also in that interview, when she's talking about the muddled lives,
Yeah.
she says you and quotation mark Bridget and Amelie and quotation mark. So I wonder if she knew that there was something between Bridget and Amelie.
Say that again?
That all too familiar feeling of waking and dreaming being tangled up. But you and quotation mark Bridget and Amelie and quotation mark lead even more muddled lives, don't you? So I wonder if she knew something about Bridget and Amelie.
Well, she clearly did.
Yeah, because she saw in the
Yeah,
previous report.
she knew everything.
Yeah.
But she's writing to you before even you know what's going on as her last message, right? So then, in that case, what that means is that, like, the nature of of his dooms being a potential cause in her going down that fucking road to begin with means that of course he'd fucking blame himself for it, right? Like, literally, like, she learns the truth of everything, and she's exposed to, like, massive dooms and the extinction event itself leads her down that road, which we just learned is sometimes suicidal.
Yeah.
Right? And then, yeah, and, like, he's sort of responsible for that in a weird way without being directly responsible at all. So she just, yeah, the situation was too much, and then ultimately she kind of lost her mind in the process. Okay. That's super sad. I can
Beyond sad.
I can wrap my head a bit better around that. Because as it was, I was trying to understand, like, why would she, in her rational mind, do that, you know? Even if she saw, and it's weird, of course, because you're like, even if you see the way things are going to be for you, like, if she saw some sort of future with Sam having to do all of this without them present, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Like, she just says, I saw everything, but it doesn't go into the details and the specifics of it, right? It's just being made aware of
The truth.
everything that we learned in that ending.
Yeah.
I guess there's a little bit of je ne sais quoi in the distance between how rational she was at the time and how influenced she was.
Delivering cargo.
But either way, a dude like him is not going to really
Delivery
care.
complete. Display
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, he's
performance
going to be like, fuck me.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what matters. 4.9, man.
Come on.
Thank you.
Is it full?
It's full.
Is it?
It's full.
Is it?
He's going to give us a star. You don't get that bandwidth increase unless it's 5.
Okay.
5-star, man. We're done.
I was just looking at the stars. That's why I wasn't sure.
I've done it many times. You know how many times I've done it, Reggie?
36.
Count them. Count them. That's how many times I've done it.
Congratulations.
Thank you for your continued support.
order available. Please access
No
delivery
orders
terminal
available.
further.
Game beat doesn't matter.
Done.
And with that, we can say we've actually done it.
Last interviews. Oh, okay. No, these are Lucy's that I just read, but there are Die Hard Men more.
We just got, so these are what you just read.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. And then we got these last ones here.
You want to take these?
U.S. Special Forces enlistment record. John Blake McClane.
John McClane?
John McClane. Nationality, American. McClane scored above average in physical and mental aptitude tests. His talents were recognized by Captain Clifford Unger, who elected to give McClane special training. Under Captain Unger's command, McClane took part in several missions, during which he earned a reputation for survival against all odds, as evidenced by his nickname, Die Hard Man.
Take a look at me now. Huh? How about that? You like that?
John McClane.
Now, you like that? Yeah? You like connecting the dots? Yeah?
I like that one.
He's back! He's back! We got him! He's back! We're back on the dad train. Let's go, Kojima.
Got me.
Never stop, never stopping. This is why we do it.
The following information concerning John Blake McClane's death was recovered following the activation of the chiral network. It's presented without comment or interpretation. All personal data and official documentation concerning the subject indicates he's deceased. However, even after reconstruction and collation of data from additional sources were unable to confirm cremation of the subject's corpse. Unfortunately, recovery of incinerator records, from the time in question has so far proved difficult on account of the incident's proximity to the death stranding. While the possibility that the corpse underwent necrosis and subsequently transformed into a BT cannot be ruled out entirely, the probability is exceedingly low. In other words, there is no evidence that the subject has, in fact, died. Significant portions of the subject's personal data appear to have been discreetly modified and expunged, but forensic studies have led us to the discovery of a living individual who bears a striking resemblance to the deceased. Subsequent analysis of genetic samples do indeed confirm the DNA match for this Die Hard Man.
How about that?
So they don't even really understand how he's not dead. Because he did die. But then he just didn't die. With no quite explanation for it besides Cliff saving him,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Oh, man.
Wow. Wow. President John McClane. That's fucking... That's... you just read a lot. I got these.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Captain Clifford Unger, former U.S. Army Specials, honorably discharged, was shot dead at a government facility under executive supervision. It should be noted that prior to this altercation, he had cooperated fully with our researchers and contributed to our ongoing BB experiments. On the day of the incident, Captain Unger took an experimental BB hostage. An experimental BB, of course. Nothing special there.
Nothing special about that BB. We don't know what happened.
A tool. Nobody knows what was in that pipe. On the day of the incident, Captain Unger took an experimental BB hostage and barricaded himself inside one of the facility's rooms. After assessing the situation, the president ordered that a nonviolent resolution be pursued, ensuring no harm came to either the captain or the BB. However, this order was directly contravened by presidential advisor John Blake McClane, who shot and killed Clifford Unger. Following the incident, McClane refused to surrender himself into custody and fled, and was accordingly designated the most wanted fugitive. Efforts to locate and detain McClane were unsuccessful. However, the search was later called off when an unrelated investigation into a suicide found that the deceased possessed the same social security number as McClane. The body was cremated before physical identification could be performed. You want to understand the EE's point of view, but fuck you. You know?
Yep.
I hug you, but fuck you.
It sucks.
Fuck you. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. But also, you're just a fucking... You're death. You're death. You're literally just death. So, what are you supposed to do with that? Oh, poor dude, man.
Tried his best.
Wow. Hand on the gun.
Yep.
And it's room full of soldiers. They don't have the clearance to say otherwise. John Blake McClane was placed under Captain Unger's command upon being accepted into U.S. Army Special Forces. McClane performed exceptionally in training and subsequent deployments, earning commendations and reputation as a born survivor who could be thrust into the worst situations imaginable and emerge unscathed. Around the time Captain Unger was discharged, McClane was chosen to serve as a special advisor to President Bridget Strand. Although his primary duty was to ensure her personal safety, he became intimately involved with the Bridges 1 initiative, as established by President Strand. Several days prior to the hostage incident, it is suspected that McClane collaborated with Captain Unger to abduct a BB. It has since been confirmed that McClane actively compromised security protocols in a manner which directly aided Captain Unger in his attempt. Therefore, it seems likely that McClane resolved to kill Captain Unger upon concluding that their plot had failed. Though their motives remain unclear, it is speculated that Captain Unger was in possession of compromising information regarding his former subordinate, which he leveraged to secure McClane's assistance in abducting a BB. When this attempt failed, McClane killed Captain Unger in a moment of desperation to prevent him. Later, when McClane grasped the gravity of the situation, he chose to take his own life rather than face the consequences of his action.
Now, this is how you craft a good story, a good cover-up.
This is why when you read the official stories on things that sound like nonsense,
Yep.
you get that feeling in your gut that's like, oh, go fuck yourself, right? The nature of it be like, it's not only so far off the mark, but it's like literally putting evil where there was only good. You know? God, just...
Unsettling, is it? Huh?
It's bad enough when you can't thank somebody for doing the right thing, but when they have to eat shit in order for the status quo to be maintained, you know? Shoutouts to Snake Eater.
Snake Eater.
Yeah, you know that one. There you go. Yeah, that song, dude, like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I like those games. It wasn't until that game that the Metal Gear games were really, really good. That game and its conclusion fucking like blew a hole in my chest. You know?
Oh, at that point, at that level.
It's incredible, yeah. Due to circumstances surrounding the murder of Captain Unger and the subsequent suicide of John Blake McLean, President Strand assumed direct control of Bridges to ensure that the BB experiments continued. Of course she did. As the organization's purview expanded, their restrictions were reduced. They became President Strand's primary security apparatus, an elite organization under her direct command, wholly devoted to her mission of American Reconstructionism. A new director was subsequently appointed to lead Bridges, an individual known only as Die Hard Man. Now, the funny thing about that cutscene, when you go back to it, is that she's wearing the mask.
Yes.
Right? And at first I was like, oh, is that some sort of like don't recognize Amelie Bridget situation mask thing? And it's like, no, she was still just her, but she was wearing the mask. Explanations? None? She just gave the mask to him.
Yeah, why was she
Well, why was she wearing it
in
to
the
begin
first
with?
place? Yeah.
Yeah, why was she wearing that mask to begin with? It's just she just wanted to fucking rock a mask, I guess.
Good enough.
No explanation. Don't worry about
There's
it.
no wordplay with masks and cover-ups on
because
this?
shut up, because she's hiding her true nature from you. Shut up, though.
Okay.
Shut up, though. Yeah. Again, the idea that global extinction is at the upfront their primary concern is American Reconstructionism. It's a little bit narrow. Unless every country had its own extinction entity hanging out,
Yeah.
right? Every country had their own version of the event in a localized way, then sure. Then so be it. We happen to just be watching one of the many. But if the thing that is about to kill humanity only cares about America, it's like, come on!
How's Canada? Doesn't matter. How's Mexico? There's a wall. We're good.
What if there's a wall and everything outside of it is totally normal and it's only America experiencing this crazy bullshit?
And we're like, you still don't want the imperial system? No! There's a BT's 5 yards from here.
Beyond the chiral wall that surrounds the American border, life goes on completely normal. Death Stranding is just America. Think about it. You got no proof.
Make America great again.
United Cities of America, bro. We've moved on from the States. We've moved on. All right?
All right, I'm on board.
Hey, Reggie.
Yes, sir.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.